Yes, Shania Twain, that don't impress me much on the Radio West Fife Wake Up. It's coming up for 20 minutes past 7. And spare a thought for the maths teacher, Katie Bryan, 43, as she faced a bill of no less than £2,600 after downloading a music album, and that album was the best of Neil Diamond. Miss Bryan was visiting her boyfriend's family in South Africa. She downloaded a multiple pack of Best of Neil Diamond from iTunes on her phone for £8.99, came home to a £2,600 roaming charge on her bill. What a shame. So, if you're abroad, don't download any Neil Diamond albums, no matter what you do.
You're number one.
Yes, do it all over again on the Radio West 5 Wake Up. It's coming up for 7:25, and I don't know, I ended up down to the newsagents, my local newsagents, and I went to buy the Dunfermline Press, and I looked at it from a distance, and I just picked it off the shelf, and I thought, oh, that looks like a Bonnie Baby competition at the front, you know, with all the little photographs in the front, and it turned out to be some sort of political event, with all of our local councillors on the front, so my apologies for that, but it does look like a Bonnie Baby competition on the front there. Coming up, we've got more about the big lunch, and next up we've got these guys on the Radio West 5 Wake Up. On Radio West 5, you're number one. Now, it's a chilly 5 degrees outside, and it's going to be rising to about 10 degrees during the day, and might hit a high of 11 or 12 degrees. Imagine that. Quite warm for during the day, but it's a crisp, clear day outside. Nice day for a walk. And a nice day to get to know your neighbours. We're getting right behind the big lunch. The big lunch, we're getting right behind it. And we're going to give you some tips on how to get involved. And the first hurdle you've got to get over is the knock at the door.
Really is the very first knock on the door of getting to know your neighbour, and you never know, you could spark up a really lovely friendship.
Yeah, we want you to spark up a lovely relationship with your neighbours and a friendship. And I've been thinking about this. At Radio West 5, we don't have neighbours. Well, we do have neighbours. And these are the people that work at the WRVS Cafe, right next door to us. And we're going to spring a surprise. I'm going to try and get a big lunch organised with the WRVS people, because they work tirelessly in the hospital here for all the visitors and all the presenters here, and they serve everyone who visits the hospital free and do their work on a voluntary basis. So the WRVS are our neighbours, and we're going to have a big lunch with them, whether they like it or not. I think they'll love it. Okay, so that's the plan, but I want you to get involved with your neighbours. So coming up, we've got Name That Tune. Listen out for this. Can you name this tune, which Nigeria is reciting for us? She's just telling us what the lyrics are.
I want to feel sunlight on my face. I see the dust cloud disappear without a trace. I want to take shelter from the poison rain.
Radio West 5.
If you can name that tune, then give us a call.
Call us now on 01383 674 066 or text us on 07729 108800.
The Big Lunch is the UK's annual get-together for neighbours. It's all about encouraging neighbours and communities to come together and host their very own Big Lunch events on Sunday, June 1st, 2014. It's a really simple idea that can be used any way you want. It doesn't have to be big, flashy or an expensive affair. People are the key ingredient. So, come on Scotland, stop being shy, wear your best smile and knock on your neighbour's door to get organising a big lunch. Don't worry about feeling shy or thinking, what if I won't like them? We all have the same silly thoughts. The Big Lunch is the perfect excuse to get over all that. And you might be surprised and heartened by the responses, ideas and planning that your first knock sparks off. Everything you need to get started can be found at www.thebiglunch.com. You can register for a free pack which has all sorts, invitations, posters and celebrity recipe ideas. Good things happen when you get to know your neighbours.
You're listening to my call on the Radio West 5 Wake Up.
Radio West 5.
My name is Michelle McManus and this is my second year being involved with the Eden Project's The Big Lunch. It's one of my most favourite events of the year, I have to say. I did it last year and it was such a huge success. I just think we live in a day and age where we don't really know our neighbours, especially if you're living in big cities. So this is just the perfect excuse to knock on your neighbour's door and spark up a real friendship.
Yes, we're right behind the Big Lunch here on Radio West 5, and Right at the moment, we've got Charlene Smith on the line. She's on the way to a modelling shoot on a train. Hi, Charlene.
Hi, Michael. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. So you're on the way to this modelling shoot. What's that all about?
Oh, it's going to be great. It's a 5-hour modelling shoot today in Manchester for the high street shops and extras on the telly as well.
Wow, okay. So you're going to be a life-size model or a life-size caricature in most of the shopping malls down in Manchester and perhaps up in Dunfermline.
Well, I could be, my friend, yes. If it all goes well today, if they like me.
All right, okay.
They just want to see what I'm like with the photos. So
right, okay.
Hopefully all will go well, because I'm used to that anyway.
And I noticed that the Glam Squad are with D&G Auto Care on the 19th of April, is it?
Yes, we've got a car wash this Saturday.
Okay.
At D&G Pitrevy.
And
9 o'clock till 1.
9 o'clock till 1. Okay, so get yourself down there, folks. If you're listening and you want to get your car and your bumper scrubbed, then get yourself down there. It's £4 a wash, you gather, right?
£4 a wash, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
and that's
hopefully it's a lovely day. Hopefully it's nice.
Yep. And that's in aid of Muirhead Outreach.
It is, yeah.
It is.
All the money goes to there, yeah.
Wow, so I hope you get a nice warm day for that, because I wouldn't like to be wearing full glam and then get chilly. But it's a chance for you to chip those nails and get that nail varnish all chipped, isn't it? Washing the scars.
Exactly,
yeah.
Oh, gee.
And I gather you've got a Costa coffee.
I've got a Costa coffee now sitting in the train, with a very heavy case.
I'm not allowed any tier coffee in the studio, which is a damn shame.
Good.
It's no good at all.
Good.
No. But Shirley, I want to know what your secret is regarding your nice white teeth. I mean, you drink all this coffee, constantly drinking the coffee, and your teeth stays no stains in your teeth at all. I mean, how do you manage that? I mean,
Michael, it's good living, my friend. Good living.
Good living. Good living. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you be more specific about that, or just?
It's just very good living. I look after myself.
Very good
I don't
living.
Drink, don't smoke. Keep fit.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So
good
remember,
living.
folks. Remember, on the 19th of April, folks, get down to D&G Auto Care in Pitrevy, £4 a wash for your car, and every penny will go to Muirhead Outreach Project in Glenrothes.
Yes, that's right.
Well, thanks for phoning in, Charlene.
No problem, and I'll let you know how it goes today.
Yep, let us know how it goes today. Okay, later on. We'll catch up with you later on, okay?
Okay,
it's a
Michael,
pleasure speaking to you.
Pal.
And you might have heard Dibby there, Dibby, but that will be played and mashed up by DJ GCM this Saturday at the Harleman Collective. I'll be there at 11 o'clock to interview her live on set before she goes on set. So stay tuned for that. We'll bring you a recorded live interview later on in the week, possibly the Sunday morning, if I manage to get sobered up after the gig. But I'll be chatting to her about her life, her music, and what influences her in her DJing across the globe. So she's been just about every country in the globe, and I'm so looking forward to interviewing her. So that's DJ GCM. She'll be mashing that one up. I'm going to bring you some more iTunes that she's going to be mashing up in the show in the next hour or so. But I was talking about Dibby there, and I would imagine that doing that, saying that Dibby by DJ Fresh, I mean, you've got to have plenty of saliva. But did you know that human saliva has a boiling point 3 times that of regular water? So 100 degrees to boil water, that's 300 degrees to boil human saliva. Is that something that's going to put you off your breakfast this morning?
You are listening to Michael on Radio West Fife.
You're listening to Michael on the Radio West Fife Wake Up.
Radio West Fife.
Yes, you certainly are. On the Radio West 5 Wake Up. It's coming for 8:45, and just take a thought of being, if you were a lady with hair, and, the weather's not been very nice lately. It's been absolutely precipitating down, shall we say, and it's been raining quite heavily the past few weeks, I would say. But take a thought for the Venezuelan brown bat, which can detect and dodge individual raindrops in mid-flight, arriving safely back at its cave completely dry. Could you imagine if you could do that, eh? I bet you some of the ladies and maybe some of the men that have got hair out there could maybe imagine, wish they could do that, be a Venezuelan brown bat and just dodge every raindrop that comes your way and arrive at the nightclub or at the dinner or wherever you're going on Saturday night completely dry. Wouldn't that just be a dream? Yes, Titanium on your number one at 9:05 on a Tuesday morning. It's Michael on the radio, and spare a thought for, I don't know what you're having for your breakfast this morning. You might be having some bacon, eggs, some beans with it. And spare a thought for those who are having beans who are perhaps scuba divers, because if you're a scuba diver and you eat a lot of beans, then you cannot pass gas at depths of 33 feet or below. It's impossible. So I wouldn't like to be a bean-eating scuba diver, would you? After the news, we've got our interview that I did with La Vida. And La Vida are the sponsors of the Powers Foundation charity match this year, and I was chatting to Laura from La Vida, so you get to listen into that after the news. But yeah, I'm so glad I'm not a scuba diver who eats beans, because I cannot pass gas below 33 feet or below, because it's quite painful apparently. Who wrote all this?
Hi, this is Gregor Tennant, and I hope to see you soon on 13th of April at Powers Foundation and Plays One Scotland.
Honestly, the things they make me read out on Radio West 5. And Harold Shipman's examination table has been removed from eBay and was going to go on sale for £10,000. I wondered why. I wonder exactly why. And in other news, well, we were talking about bean-eating scuba divers that cannot pass wind at a depth of 33 feet or below. But wouldn't it be a lethal combination if you went to the very first McDonald's restaurant that was opened in Scotland in 1952, and they only served McHaggis sandwich? That's all they could serve. So if you were a bean-eating scuba diver and you went to eat a McHaggis sandwich for lunch, then, and you couldn't pass gas at a depth of 33 feet or below, then you'd be in serious problem, wouldn't you? Who makes me read this out? This is terrible. This is Please Don't Go. And this is going to be mashed up by DJ Juicy M on Saturday. It's KWS. We're getting behind the big lunch. The big lunch is happening on the 28th of April, and you can prepare for it by listening into this.
I think it's so important to get to know our neighbours better, because let's be honest, it's great to be part of a community. It's also safety in numbers as well. And also it's about helping each other out. If something goes wrong, or maybe you need to borrow a cup of coffee, like the classic advert, it's nice to be able to know your neighbour first before you go and chap on their door and scare them half to death. So, no, these are people that are living right next door to you, and you're sharing a lot of your life in that, in this environment. So I think it's great to get to know your neighbours. People can get involved by logging on to thebiglunch.com online. On there is all the information that you will need. Also, if you want, you can register for a free pack. I mean, we're going to help you do everything. Included in that pack, there's going to be invitations you can give out, celebrity recipe ideas, everything you need to get this party started, and we're going to help you out.
Billie Jean, Michael Jackson on the Radio West 5 Wake Up, and live in the studio we have our very own Peter Little. And I said earlier on, we were talking about the question that I asked you. Well, I gave you the answer as well, but I said he was a massive Elvis Presley fan, and he loves Elvis Presley. He knows everything about Elvis Presley, but I want to put him to the test. So we're going to do it live here on Radio West 5. Peter Little, our own statistician, is going to be tested by the Radio West 5 Wake Up. And I've got a question for Peter. Peter, can you tell us the trucking company that Elvis Presley worked as a young man was owned by whom? A famous singer.
I'm not sure who owned it, but it was Crown Electronics or something, but I can't remember who owned it. That's something that I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up now unless you tell me the answer.
Well, are we in agreement, listeners, that Peter Little, our own statistician, our own knowledge of knowledge, has
I've been flummoxed.
He's been flummoxed live on air on Radio West 5, and I've managed to shame him into submission about something that he doesn't know about Elvis. I'll repeat the question for you. Just listen carefully. The trucking company that Elvis Presley worked as a young man was owned by which famous singer?
Oh, dear. I take it this was a well-known singer as well?
Yes, aye.
Very
worldwide at the time. From the 60s, 70s?
60s and 70s as well, right. I think, I've really no idea.
I never knew, folks, that I would manage to flummox our very own statistician here live in the studio, and he must bow his head in shame.
Well,
so,
who was it?
Who was it? It was Frank Sinatra. No! And he got it wrong. He couldn't remember it. Oh dear. Anyway, a big round of applause for trying anyway. And well,
You're listening to Michael on the Radio West Fife Wake Up.
Radio